Seniors need to be aware of this information. You might be experiencing worsening hearing every month without even realizing why. Often the cause is a deficiency of a single vitamin that Japanese doctors are increasingly discussing. This deficiency can lead to a gradual but irreversible decline in hearing. Imagine this. Someone is speaking to you in a store, but you can't quite hear them. Your grandchild says something while on the go, and you didn't catch it. The words blend together, and you find yourself saying, "Speak louder." But it's not about their voice. It's about your neurons, which literally lack the energy to transmit sound to your brain. This marks not just the beginning of hearing loss, but also the onset of a feeling of disconnection from the world, a sensation that grows stronger every day. Does this resonate with you? The link between a deficiency of this vitamin and hearing has been studied for a long time, but only recently has it become clear that even a moderate decrease in its levels in the blood can lead to degeneration of the auditory nerve and disrupt the transmission of sound signals. This doesn't manifest as a sudden drop in hearing, but rather as a blurred perception of speech, the emergence of noise, a feeling of fullness in the ears, and decreased orientation. What's particularly concerning is that nearly 40% of people over 60 have this deficiency. They just don't know it. And I'm talking about vitamin B12. Hearing loss is more than just an inconvenience. It leads to memory decline. The brain struggles to activate, increased anxiety, the fear of not hearing, and a sense of isolation. The person distances themselves from loved ones. However, if action is taken in a timely manner, all of this can be halted, and in some cases, even improve speech perception and reduce tinnitus. The good news, you don't have to wait. You can easily restore your B12 levels through food, supplements, and simple habits you can start today. In the following sections, you will learn which foods nourish the auditory nerve, what symptoms indicate a B12 deficiency, and what steps to take to hear the world clearly and calmly again. What happens to hearing when there is a deficiency of vitamin B12, and why is it dangerous for the brain? Hearing is not just sound passing through the ears. It's a complex and delicate process involving dozens of nerve fibers, receptors, and areas of the brain. What's particularly important is that all these elements rely on one vitamin, B12. So, what happens next? When there's a deficiency, auditory signals become distorted. The transmission of sound from the ear to the brain is disrupted, and a person begins to hear, but not understand. This is often how hearing loss starts in older adults, not from a noisy past or genetics, but from a starving nerve. The most crucial function of vitamin B12 is its role in the formation of the myelin sheath, the protective layer that covers nerve fibers, including the auditory nerve. This sheath helps transmit sound signals clearly, quickly, and without distortion. When there's enough B12, you can distinguish speech even against background noise, understand soft words, and pinpoint the direction of sound. However, with a deficiency, the sheath breaks down, the signal speed decreases, and the brain starts to lose some sounds. You hear the sound, but not the meaning. Then, tinnitus can develop, along with a feeling of fullness in the ears, and even balance issues. If the deficiency isn't addressed, the damage can become irreversible. Here's a striking example of what can happen to you. Mrs. Marlene, 79 years old, realized that she could no longer understand what people were saying over the phone. She could hear the sound, but the words blended together. During meetings, she found herself nodding along without grasping the main point. Her hearing aid helped, but it wasn't enough. Analysis revealed that her vitamin B12 levels were below 200. After a series of gentle B12 injections and switching to a diet rich in eggs, liver, and fish, she reported after 4 weeks, "I can hear again. It's like the echo has disappeared. The words are clear once more." Her grandson noticed, "Grandma's joining in on conversations again, just like before." If you notice that sounds have become duller, you find yourself asking people to repeat what they said more often. Noisy places irritate you, or you've started hearing a background buzzing or ringing. Don't just blame it on aging. It might simply be that your body is lacking the nutrients necessary for hearing. I recommend get tested for vitamin B12 levels. Start incorporating foods like eggs, liver, mackerel, sardines, dairy products, and beef into your diet. If you have a low appetite or experience stomach issues, consider taking B12 in the form of drops, sublingual tablets, or injections. It's important to note that older adults often lack stomach acid necessary for absorbing B12, so supplementation can be essential even with a normal diet. A little tip: keep an auditory journal. Did I hear the birds singing today? Can I understand speech without straining? Is there background noise? This isn't a medical test, but a gentle way to observe yourself that can help you notice changes in a timely manner and feel improvements. Did you know that a deficiency can affect other areas as well? You might be surprised. When we talk about hearing, few realize that hearing loss isn't just an ear problem. It often serves as the first signal that the brain is starving. Vitamin B12 is one of the key vitamins that impacts not only the auditory nerve, but also memory function, attention, emotional state, and even coordination. A deficiency isn't just about hearing loss. It leads to an imbalance in the entire nervous system. In what other processes in your body does it play a role? Vitamin B12 is essential for protecting nerve tissue. It supports the myelin sheath, shielding nerves from damage. When deficient, signals between the brain and body are transmitted with delays and distortions. Mood stability. B12 is involved in the synthesis of serotonin and dopamine, hormones responsible for calmness, motivation, and mental clarity. A deficiency can lead to irritability, apathy, unexplained anxiety, tearfulness, and impulsiveness. Memory and thinking. B12 affects the functioning of the hippocampus, the center of memory. People with a deficiency often experience confusion. Additionally, it plays a role in coordination and balance. A lack of vitamin B12 can diminish the sense of support in the legs, leading to more frequent balance issues and a feeling of unsteadiness while walking, especially in low light. Here's a striking example of a person. Mr. Bruno, 82 years old, noticed that he was sleeping poorly. He would wake up feeling anxious and fatigued, as if he hadn't fully recovered. His family observed that he had become irritable, tired quickly during conversations, and increasingly repeated the same phrases. He attributed everything to aging until one day he stumbled over nothing. Tests revealed that his vitamin B12 levels were below 180, indicating a significant deficiency. After 4 weeks of injections and a nutrient-rich diet, liver, fish, eggs, he noticed that his sleep improved, his mood stabilized, and his gait became more confident. Most importantly, his gaze regained its clarity. He himself said, "I've come back from the fog. I can hear, think, and move with confidence again." What will you do to address a vitamin deficiency? If you notice that your sleep has worsened, you've lost interest in things, you feel more irritable or tearful, you're frequently losing your balance, or you struggle to recall the right word. This isn't just fatigue. It could be a deficiency in B12. Here's what to do. Check. Get a blood test to measure your B12 levels. Support. Include foods rich in B12 in your diet, such as liver, fish, eggs, and cottage cheese. You may also consider supplements, either sublingual or injections, as prescribed by your doctor. Supplement. Ensure you get fresh air, some physical activity, daylight, and social interaction. Even brief but warm interactions can help, along with a calm daily routine. All these actions combined not only aid your hearing, but also help your entire body regain clarity and stability. Here's a very simple and small piece of advice. Place a chair by the window. Sit down in the morning. Take a deep breath. Drink some water. Listen to the sounds around you. Don't analyze, just listen. This is the beginning of your return. Because hearing isn't just about sound, it's your connection to the world. And B12 is the nourishment for that connection. Now listen carefully if you have any stomach issues. As we age, our bodies absorb vitamin B12 less effectively, especially if there are stomach problems, if you're taking certain medications, or if you have a reduced appetite. Therefore, it's important not only to know where to find B12, but also how to consume it properly so that it actually reaches the necessary cells. Vitamin B12 is found exclusively in animal-based products. Here are the main sources, ranked by their B12 content. Liver, especially beef or chicken. A small serving can cover 500% of the daily requirement. Important, avoid frying it to dryness. It's better to stew or steam it. Sardines, mackerel, tuna, salmon. These fish are rich not only in B12, but also in omega-3 fatty acids, which support the auditory nerve. 100 grams of fish can provide 300% of the daily requirement. Eggs, especially the yolk. While they contain less concentrated B12, they are well absorbed. It is recommended to have one soft-boiled or poached egg every other day. Dairy products. Cheese, kefir, and cottage cheese contain small amounts of B12 and are especially beneficial when combined with other foods. B12 supplements. If you have low stomach acidity or are taking medications for blood pressure, tonsort stomach issues, it's best to use sublingual drops or tablets or injections as recommended by a doctor. Here's how nutrition can make a difference. Ms. Lena, 77 years old, began to notice that not only was her hearing declining, but words seemed to slip away from her. Her memory was unstable, and her mood was like a roller coaster. Her diet was quite simple: porridge, bread, soup, and tea. She thought she was eating healthily at home, but tests revealed her vitamin B12 levels were at the lower end of normal. The doctor explained that she was lacking animal protein and the active form of the vitamin, compounded by age-related decreases in stomach acidity. Lena started adding liver to her diet once a week, eating an egg every other day, and taking B12 drops under her tongue every morning. After 3 weeks, she noticed that her mind felt clearer, her mood steadier, and words came more easily. She added, "I feel like I'm part of the conversation again, rather than standing alongside myself." Here's a little tip from me. Set aside a memory and hearing day once a week, where you make sure to eat a piece of liver, an egg, and some fish, and place a couple of drops of vitamin B12 under your tongue. Keep a journal to track how you feel. After a month, you'll notice that you're not just hearing better, you're experiencing life more fully. Let's go over this once more and remember it forever. Hearing doesn't just fade away suddenly. It diminishes quietly, bit by bit. Phrases become unclear, sounds get muffled, and communication becomes exhausting. But today you've learned that often the reason isn't age, headphones, or genetics. It's a deficiency in vitamin B12, which nourishes the auditory nerve, supports brain function, and helps you hear clearly and live in sound rather than silence. And that means you can take action to change this. All you need to do is restore the connection to your hearing. Add to your diet liver, eggs, fish, and cottage cheese. Check your vitamin B12 levels in your blood. If necessary, start taking drops, sublingual tablets, or injections. Support your nervous system with light, rest, and rhythm. It's not about making things louder, it's about making them deeper. It's about hearing not just words again, but life in all its sounds. You might think, it's too late. I can't restore my hearing. It's all due to age. But that's not true. The brain and nerves always respond to care, even at 70, 80, or 90 years old. Yes, maybe not everything will come back immediately, but it will get easier. It will become clearer. And you will feel, I'm part of the conversation again. I'm among loved ones again. I'm back in the world. Let tomorrow begin with care. Check your diet. Does it include what nourishes your hearing? Schedule an appointment for a hearing test, buy some drops, or simply eat an egg. Sit by the window. Listen. And you will understand. Sounds return to where they are awaited, and life goes where there is space for it. Imagine yourself a month from now. You're walking down the street and hear the rustling of leaves. You listen to your grandchild's voice and understand everything the first time. Music touches you again. And the evening silence doesn't frighten you. It calms you. You're not just hearing. You're back in the world, with yourself, with life.